If you trusting somebody with your money, you deserve full transparency. Hello, this is Vladimir Nemchinov with InvestSteady.com. Today we're talking about how I make money. Maybe interesting topic for somebody, maybe not so much for other people. My services are free to you. You are not paying me hourly. There is no planning fees. I am very interested and I like to help people. I do like to get paid, but the goal for this is for me to teach you and show you what options you have so then you can make educated choice. This is what I want to talk about today to make it clear for everybody. I'm doing YouTube. YouTube down the road might pay me something. I don't know. We'll see. Not there yet. Just hit 313 subscribers. All I'm doing is I'm answering questions that nobody asked me from Reddit. And I'm trying to show some snippets, bits, and pieces of information that I've learned and that helped me to get to my net worth and organized my family finances. My main wealth game, right? This is the plan that is applicable to everybody in any situation for the most part. These are the steps of wealth game, or the levels of the wealth game. On the first level, you don't know much and you're trying to figure out, this is how much money coming in, this is how much money going out. Now you need to figure out what's the difference between those and how I can tweak it to spend less and make more, or decrease and increase the percentages of those. Okay, that's how you then have margin, then you can do stuff with. If you want to buy a house, by having margin, you can put money away for down payment to buy a house in the future. This is the first level. Second level is protection. If something happens to me, my wife now needs to take care of the household while making money. My income will no longer be available. And this is what the protection in level 2 is the life insurance. Something happens to me, she gets the life insurance, almost $1 million, which she can then invest. And if the market brings at least 10%, as it was for many, many decades, 10 to 12 on average, she can pull out $100,000 a year to replace my income. This is the income protection that I'm talking about in level 2. How I get paid, this is part of it. If I am helping you to get life insurance, I am licensed life insurance agent. Insurance company pays me. Okay, so if you purchase coverage through me, the insurance company compensates me as an agent who found the client. Okay, my goal is to help you. My goal is not to sell you life insurance if you don't need one. For example, I keep saying, if you're young, you don't have a family, you don't have dependents, you do not need insurance. Although it would be the cheapest to you when you're 20, but you don't need it. If something happens to you, nobody depends on you. No matter how sad it will be, your parents gonna move on. Okay, but if you do have children like I have, or wife that all dependent on my income, then they need this protection of my income. They're gonna grieve my loss, my death, their loss, hopefully, but they're not gonna worry about where to get money to pay mortgage with. All right, that's one way. Let's hit one of the questions about financial advisor. If financial advisors are so good at investing, why do they work with customers? There are so many arrogant, confident financial advisors who make the investments they sell so good. It makes no sense to me that if their investments are so good, why don't they just use their own money to make them their millions and then just sit on the beach, feel like they get rich off selling the investments, but the investment is self isn't that great. So this is a good question. Why would you contact me to figure out life insurance or figure out the investments, rollover 401ks, opening traditional IRAs or Roth IRAs? Why would you need that? Most of it you can do yourself. To get life insurance, you can probably do it even online. You don't need agent, but the thing is somebody is gonna get paid commission. And this is the advantage of person who you can reach out to talk to advise, to talk you out of ledge. One of the questions will be in the last question actually will be about that. The question was asked 7 years ago, and we talk about that. And person made some not wise decisions because he was relying just on his knowledge. And when you have hundreds of thousands invested, it's hard to not have your emotions involved because, well, if market goes down, it's your money decreasing, and it's scary. It would be scary for me. So, yeah, this is a good question. Now, let's look at, let's say I make $100,000 a year with investments, right? And according to the wealth game, 15% of that money after I pay off all the debt and I put away money for emergency fund, 15% of my income goes to retirement. So 15% of 100,000, that's why I said 100,000, it would be easy math, $15,000. $15,000 will allow me to max out mine and my wife's Roth IRAs for this year. Now, if we do that at age 40 to 67, we will have about $1 million each in our Roth IRAs at 10% return annually. Okay, so this is better than nothing, and this is one of my goals, to play the wealth game. However, I cannot stop working right now with this money. Okay, even if I have a job on the side, which I do, and I make, let's say, $100,000, that $15,000 will not allow me to retire at 10%. It's not like financial advisors can double their money. Okay, so then basically this question, I understand where the person is coming from, but we cannot make money out of thin air. So we just do and follow the same knowledge about finances, the same knowledge about investing, and that's how this is what the job that we do. I wish somebody told me these things when I came to America and I was 20 years old, because nobody told me. I want to tell you. I want you to benefit from the experience that I got. The knowledge is free. As a matter of fact, a good advisor should be educating, not just, hey, you do this, buy this because it's going to pay me more money. No, but I mean, I'm sure people do that. That's why people get burned and they're like, why? I want to do it all myself. Not a big deal. All right. So 401k rollovers, retirement accounts. If you roll over an old 401k or open an investment account and invest in mutual funds, and the funds companies pay me through assets under management. So this is another way in a wealth game. The next step would be, after protection, that is, it would be to put away $1,000 into emergency fund, then pay off all the consumer debt. If that is done, next step, you're building up full emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. After that, 15% of your retirement goes 15% of your income goes into retirement accounts. That is where I come in. Okay, if your company does not provide 401k with matching basically your money that you put in, if they match, that's free money. I can't help you with that. This is your company. They will give you that option. But I can tell you, Like if they match 3%, put money into 3%. We can look at the options within 401k. It's limited options, but we can look at them, see at their performance and what would be best for you. I can get paid for that. Okay, but this is me helping you with your financial wealth game. Okay, if you can put away more money, or if your company does not provide 401k match, then you on your own, just like I am personally on my own with my retirement. Same with employees of the companies who do not provide 401k. So in that case, we can open Roth IRA, preferably a Roth IRA, where you can put money after tax and it's going to grow tax free, and it's going to help hopefully very well in your retirement account. Okay, so this is where I come in. You can do it all on your own. You can go to Fidelity, Schwab. I only myself personally have experience with Fidelity, but you can do that with companies. Again, the downside of that, when I called 1-800, nobody told me how to do, what to invest in. I called them, they took my money, they basically put it in a age fund, that when you retire in 2030, this is going to be your fund and it's going to change by itself. There's nobody to talk to, there is no advisor. That is the downside of that. Okay, with me, you get me. Like, hey, this is what I want to do, this is what my plan. We can look at the big picture, what you're actually planning to achieve. Maybe this would be better for you, or this is not suitable for you at this at your stage of life or in your wealth game. Like, I would not recommend you to put any money in retirement while you have consumer debt. If you have car payment, do not put any money. Yes, the funds, mutual funds, will pay me fee. However, I would not advise you to put money in retirement while you have consumer debt. This is not something I agree with, and I'm sure a lot of people will take your money. Yeah, let's open Roth IRA account, put hundreds of thousands in there. No, I would not recommend that. I would rather say pay off all your credit cards first. Yes, there will be less money to invest, but you will not spread thin between trying to pay off credit cards and then do the retirement. Focus on paying off the debt, then save up emergency fund, and then only invest in retirement. This is the wealth game that I preach, and I stick to it. Okay, let's look at another question. Okay. Need advice on budgeting my money. I have 150K sitting in my high yield saving account. Need advice on how to diversify it. Thinking of putting it in a 4% CD for 5 months under my bank, or put some in my Roth. All right, let's do some math. 150K for easy math. Let's do 100,000. So 100,000 will get you 4%. That's annual return. So from $100,000, 1% would be 1,000. Okay, 4% would be 4,000. Now, if you do that for 5 months, this is less than half of 4,000. This is less than $2,000 that you will get on that CD on 100,000. I'm sorry, less than $3,000 on a $150,000 CD investment. What in the world is that? These days, high yield saving accounts actually can do more than 4%. That is why you need somebody to run by your ideas. Or second option, he said, or put some in my Roth IRA. Yes, before you pay taxes this year, max out your previous year. Put if you're under age of 50, you can put 7,500, well, 7,000 last year and 7,500 this year. So that's $14,500 out of 150, kind of drop in the bucket. But you can do that. You can max it out for your wife as well, and then do that every year. In the beginning of the year, you can just do that. But CDs, see, it's a lot of things is missing. A lot of information is missing. What's your age? Maybe you're 99 years old. Okay, maybe you're not making more money than that, more than what allowed for you to participate in contributing to Roth IRA. So all these things, we would sit down, what we would do, okay? Either in person or via Zoom. We sit down, we talk, okay, what are your goals? What are your plans? What are you trying to achieve? How much money you have? How much money you want to put in here? How much you want to put there? How much you want to put for your kids' education? All these things, we're going to go through them. This way, I'm not just saying, oh, don't put in CD because it's 4% is dumb. But maybe it's your short-term money you want to put in there and then have extra $3,000 from your $150,000 to buy a house in 4 months. Okay, so these things we can answer from a quick question here on the internet without sitting down. But that is the advantage. You can sit down with somebody, tell them, okay, this is what I'm planning, this is what I want to do, what is my best strategy, and then we can look at the wealth game. Do you have, like in this question, we don't know, maybe that person has 50,000 in debt, pay that off. Okay, maybe you almost paid off your house and you have $150,000. Maybe that would be an option or a better option depending on the level of your wealth game. Okay, so all these things, we would sit down and we go, do you have a budget? How much money a month you can actually have margin to do something with? Okay, then do you have protection? Do you have dependents that depend on you? You then better off getting life insurance to protect your income in case something happens. Then do you have emergency fund? Yes, you do. Good. You have any debt you don't have? Beautiful. Retirement would be next. Okay, and after that would be kids education. There would be a down payment on a house if you don't have one yet, and then from there, all these things are in place and are working and accumulating, compounding. Then let's see how we can, with any extra money, we can start paying off the house. Okay, that's a big chunk of money that's going out every month for mortgage or rent, and let's recapture that. Let's pay that off, and we increased our spendable income that we can use month to month, and now we can put more money into maxing out the retirement accounts or any other accounts that actually going to compound and benefit us in the future. Okay. Why this benefits working families? It allows everyday people to get help without needing thousands up front. A lot of sophisticated, let's say, financial firms, they want a lot of money for them to even look your way. What we can do, we can open retirement accounts with $25 a month contribution, for anybody, for average Joe like you and I, or Joanne. We can do that, and we can look into what we can do financially with where the money is actually in, what are they invested in, not just sitting in an account like I started doing it with my wife, Roth IRA. We opened one in Fidelity for her back when I didn't know anything about this, and I was putting $100 every month, and after 2 years it grew by 0%. I did not know that I actually have to invest it in individual retirement account. So all right, let's look at another question. What type of advisor do I need? I am 66. My husband passed away unexpectedly several weeks ago at 68. Sorry to hear about that. Around 25 years ago, he asked me to do the financial investing stuff. We now have around $3 million in retirement savings and another $350 in regular savings, with no real debt beyond $200 mortgage in high cost living area. We were not taking Social Security yet. We had been planning that he would work for several more years because he enjoyed it. So I'm obviously in a good situation financially, but it also looks like I could be in for a big tax hit within several years with even minimum required minimum distribution, etc. What type of expert do I need here? Thanks. Well, this is a good example of a person that have a lot of money, very well off, but don't know, okay, what's next. Now, husband was probably running things, and okay, what do I do now? We've done well. But what I would do, sit down with person and walk through the wealth game. Okay, again, they're in the best, in a very good situation, but they still have mortgage. Okay, in general, what are you looking for? You're looking for somebody who can explain to you and give you options. They explain to you, they teach you, okay, why this is good versus this is not good. Okay, so then why this investment is good and this investment is not good, so you can make a decision. You don't want somebody like, oh, $3 million, let's invest and buy this fund. No, you don't want that. You want a full picture. You want somebody to explain to you, so you actually make a decision. Okay, that's why a lot of sport people who make millions of dollars lose it all, because they have somebody, a professional, manage it for them. No, you need to manage your money. You might use advice and help from somebody else, but you are the manager. Money, you earn the money, you have those money, that money was given to you, you are the manager. You just need to know, and you need guidance with that. And that's the kind of advisor you need. Somebody that will be there on your side, will explain to you, okay, these are the fees, this is how much I get from that, this is from how much I get from these or this one, and this is the same, the pay is the same, but you will benefit better from this option or that option. So this is the kind of person you need to talk to or search for. Not arrogant, like, oh, I know it all. You're a 66-year-old woman. You don't know what you're talking about. I do know. Do not let people intimidate you. Let them be your help, your counsel. Okay? Alignment. My success grows when your assets grow. Long-term relationship matter more than the quick transaction. This is what matters to me. Yes, some sale people, they just want to make a sale, make a buck from it, and move on. For example, whole life insurance, they make a lot of fees from the money that you invest in whole life insurance. That's why we do not sell it. Our company does not sell it at all. I would not sell it. I would, if you have a whole life insurance, let me know. We can save you how much you pay a month. We can separate that nonsensical protection from nonsensical investment, because it's mediocre at both. And then there's other weird stuff there anyways. So long-term relationship, me sitting down with you and helping you out. Maybe you're 60-year-old, maybe you're 50-year-old, and you have kids who are 20. If we have a good communication and a good connection, and then it's actually helpful, our relationship, then you will advise, you will recommend me to somebody. You'll say, man, Vladimir is good, he explained everything. You can watch his YouTube videos, he explained these concepts. Rule of 72, interest that you make, if you divide number 72 by interest you make, you will know how long it will take you to double your money. If your interest is 10%, then you will double your money every 7 years, even without adding more to it. Obviously, if you add more, it will double faster. But that's the rule of 72, or dollar cost average. If you put money every month, no matter what market does, if it's low, if it's high, when it's low, you buy more shares. If it's high, you buy lesser, but it averages out over time. That's what that means. So all these concepts can be explained. Obviously, a lot of stuff you can Google right now, a lot of stuff you can ask ChatGPT or AI, and it will help you. It will give you advice, but it's not human, of course. It doesn't have much emotions, and yeah, all advice, obviously, be careful with everything that you act on. Okay. Let's look at next one. Okay. Sorry about that. financial advisor versus not. I know Reddit is mostly pro DIY, but I was wondering if that applies to me too. Turn 33 next week, work as a physician with decent paying specialty since graduating almost 3 years back. 300K in salary, 210K in 401K, 135K in individual brokerage. Over 300,000 in savings, no debt, max out 401k, HSA, and get a good match, and 457B at work. I am renting now, but should get a home. Feel like I'm missing out on decent tax breaks on mortgage. By the way, I do love reading and learning about investing. However, over the last few years, my experience with investing has been somewhat hit or miss. With the great bull run, most of my blue chips ETFs have done well. However, I got too emotional with my weed stock picks, and the result have been mixed. Is that something, emotions that get better with time? Also, with all the doom and gloom naysayers about upcoming recession have me a little spooked. Would I better off just getting a financial advisor, or should I stay course and try and learn to be a better advisor? I would welcome any input. Okay, very cool question. And look at the date. The date is 7 years ago. And what happened 7 years ago? It was 2020. Yes, there was, market went down, right? And a lot of people pulled out, and that's what he was talking about, emotions that took a hold of him, and bad decisions that he made. Most people would never recommend you to take money out of the market, because historically market is going up and to the right, and that's a trajectory of the market, right? There are dips, but it rebounds usually very fast. Okay, and people who take money out of their retirement, they not only paying, they losing that momentum of growth. And of course, there is no guarantees in investments at all. However, you know when somebody's on your side that you can run your ideas by. Of course, they are there to serve you. I am there to serve you. And if you say, nope, I'm going to put money into, what is it called? Annuity. Do not recommend annuity in 99% of times. It's not good. It's like CDs essentially. But where was I going with that idea? You have somebody to run by ideas, and who can tell you like, okay, this is probably a better idea. Who can train you, can show you, okay, this is what this means. This is what would benefit you better. Who can look at your picture without emotions involved, because it's hard. Again, like he has hundreds of $1,000s. Every move 10% of $200,000 is $20,000 down. Imagine, that's gonna be scary. All right, guys, I appreciate you joining me on another live. Hopefully, it helped you to help you to show you how I get paid. And I am very interested in building a relationship and walking you through the wealth game. Okay, I don't charge you. I build with you. What level are you on? Invest steady.